All right, what's up, familia? Welcome inside the pad. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep them between the lines. Got your load secure. So, man, one of the things I want to touch on is a big issue that I see, and I've been seeing ever since I've been in trucking. This has been an issue, and I'm sure it's not the only profession, right? I don't want to make it seem like it's only a trucker issue or a trucking issue, but nonetheless, man, trucking is in the profession that I'm in, is the profession that I love, and it is definitely an issue. And that is people acting, man, like they know it all and looking down on others for not knowing what they know. Okay. You can have a driver. Look, I've been trucking for over 20 years. It's been about 22 years or something like that that I've been trucking. All right. Um, for me to look at a driver that's only been doing it for 6 months and say things to him like, you don't know this, you don't know that, in a certain tone of putting that driver down as opposed to teaching that driver what they do not know. And me doing this for 22 years, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this. I don't know it all. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and tell you guys this. There's more about trucking that I don't know as opposed to that I do know. I'll tell you guys that much. I believe trucking is like life. You can learn a lot, but you'll never learn it all. But over and over and over, it's been going on in trucking. Like I said, probably in many other professions as well. But I'll stick to trucking here, and I'll go ahead and circle this around to life as well, right? But you can have somebody who's been driving for say 30 years or something, right? And they see somebody or come across somebody who hasn't been doing it as long as they have. And they say things like, you know what? If you don't know this, and that, you have no business, none being around a truck, right? And it's like, well, this guy's just fresh out of school, man. This guy's just learning. And let me go ahead and tell you guys this, all right? And if you guys are drivers, you guys know this already. But you learn on the job. Personally, I never went to school. Okay. I never went to driving school. I never went to trucking school. Everybody that I've come across, they've pretty much just told me that, hey, you know what? They teach you enough for you to pass a test. That's what they're teaching you. Some Mickey Mouse it. That I do know for a fact. Okay. That one I do know for a fact. Because I was involved with certain people that were involved in certain schools. And yeah, man, it was just it was no good. They would just go ahead and Mickey Mouse it as quick as they possibly can. Just so that, all their job was to do was to make sure you get your CDL. That is it. Not for you to make sure, for them to make sure that you know what you're doing once you get out there. But nonetheless, like so many other things in life, you learn on the job, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. You learn on the job. And there was this driver that didn't know how to slide his tandems, right? The axles on the trailer. And man, it was kinda gotcha, man, because he had everybody just kinda making fun of him. Not making fun of him, like, laughing at him, like, "Ha, ha, ha," but basically, man, looking down at this dude, like, "You don't know how to slide your tires? Man, you ain't no trucker. You ain't nobody, man. Like, yo, you have no business being around a truck. None whatsoever at all?" And I kinda felt bad for the guy. Kinda felt bad for the guy because this guy was willing to learn. This guy wanted to learn. But you're kind of put in an environment where it's like, hey, Holmes, don't ask questions because if you do, you're going to be looked down upon. If you ask questions, you're going to be looked at as an idiot, as a dummy, as a moron, as a non trucker. Where it's like you become a trucker with time, or a more experienced trucker with time, just like so many other things in life. But I constantly see it over and over and over again. It's like you got 30 years of experience. Here's this guy who's got 3 months of experience, and yet you expect him to know everything that you know. And if he doesn't know all that, then he's got no business being around a truck. Nah, man, that's pretty gotcha, man. And I went through that, right? If you guys know, trucking has its own world. Okay, its own world. I'll give you guys some examples. Okay, um, I started trucking, hauling bottom dumps. Okay, it's two double trailers. It's the bottom dump trailers. Okay, now here's the thing. Somebody that I know started trucking. I don't know, man. Maybe about 6 months before I did, and they got into bottom dumps. Well, till this day, they still do that. Okay, till this day, they still haul bottom dumps. Right? I did it for about a year and a half. And then due to certain circumstances, man, I had to move on from that, which was kind of a blessing. But till this day, they still do bottom dumps. Okay. Now, let me tell you guys about bottom dumps. Bottom dumps, you do not go in reverse. It is rare that you put your truck in reverse. All right. It's just forward, 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 forward. So, while this person has about 22 plus years of experience in trucking with a CDL, if you put this person in a truck with a 53-foot trailer and you need that 53-foot trailer backed up somewhere, they're probably going to struggle. They're probably going to have a tough time. But how? If this person has well over 2 decades of experience, well, that's because trucking has its own world. There's a whole world out there in trucking. So while this person is very, very, very experienced in this area of trucking, that does not mean that they now are an expert or have 20 plus years of experience with all this other all the other world in trucking. Thankfully, thankfully for me, I went through a truck driving agency at one point. And in that truck driving agency, I don't know how it is today, Holmes. All right. I got no idea how it is today. But I'm talking about how it was for me personally. They didn't ask what kind of experience you had. I was coming out of bottom dumps. I never did any flatbed or tart line or dry van or reefer or any of that stuff. I had no idea. I had never even pulled a trailer that wasn't doubles. That's all I knew. But they didn't ask. They didn't ask, "Hey, man, are you experiencing this, 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 and that?" And I'm nothing. They just said, "Okay, cool. You know what? We got a job for you over here. Be there at 3 in the morning." Okay, cool. Go show up. Go show up. And it's like, all right, cool, man. Okay, we need you to, take this trailer, over here, over there, or, that's where I learned about reefers. That's where, check this out. Check this out, Holmes. All right. Check this out. When it came to cross tying, okay, when it came to cross tying, when it was time for me to do flatbeds, I didn't know how to cross tie. I didn't know how to work with a rope. I didn't. And I remember telling people around there, other drivers, like, "Hey, man, how do I tie down the load? Because if it were just the strap, okay, cool, that's pretty easy to figure out. But this with the rope that I had to cross tie, I had no idea how to cross tie these pallets down. And I remember drivers giving me a hard time. At that point, I probably had about 2.5 years driving, and they're like, "Wait, you've been doing this for over 2 years? You don't know how to cross tie? How are you a trucker and you don't know how to cross tie, Holmes?" I'm a young buck at that time, man, and I'm not, I'm just kind of they're making me feel small, like very, very small. Nonetheless, look, they helped me, right? Or this one dude helped me with a very bad attitude, but nonetheless, he helped me, right? But the thing is, it makes you feel like, man, you know what? I don't even want to ask questions, dog. I don't want to ask questions. And then it gets you in a wreck, not so much, an accident on the road, even though it can, but it could just screw you up in your career. That's why I like when drivers help each other out. It's like, hey, you know what? I got this knowledge. I got this glitch out. Let me share it with you, man. As opposed to, you don't know this? Man, you're like an idiot. You have no business being around a truck. We can help each other out, man. There's so much that we have to deal with as truckers, as drivers. The industry is not really helping us, is it? So it makes it a little tougher now. We make it tougher on ourselves without helping each other out. Okay. If somebody just came out of school, and school is actually worse today because I know drivers that are coming out of school that do not know how to shift gears. Now, I don't know if that's their fault or not. From what I understood a few years back, it was optional. You had the option of whether you want to know how to shift gears or not. From what I understand, there are a few schools that just do not teach that. They do not have trucks that shift gears. And that's unfortunate, man. We could look down on it. Look, it changes the whole culture in trucking. Definitely. That's a video for another day. I do not want to talk about the culture of trucking today. That's a video for another day. What I want to stick on is this whole attitude of you got 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. And now you got this other driver who probably has as much time driving as you do, but maybe not in the field of trucking that you are in. And you're just completely blown away like, oh, man, how you been trucking this long and you don't know this? Probably because they have not been in that type of trucking. I've never hauled tankers. I couldn't tell you anything about tanking, about hauling tanks. Now, earlier I said thankfully I went to a driving trucking agency. Why? Why thankfully? Did I enjoy my time there? No, I didn't. I didn't enjoy my time there. Thankfully, because that is when I was forced to learn about dry vans, reefers, flatbeds, tart lines. If not, I never would have known. But there's so many other type of trucking out there, man, that I have no idea. And me doing this for 22 years now, it'd be surprising for me to get into a field of trucking that I don't know, man. I wouldn't know what to do. I would need to be taught. So it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate that you get a lot of these veteran drivers that just kind of look down at newer drivers or drivers that just have not spent a lot of time in that type of trucking and treat them down like that, man. And just like, "Pff, man, you should not be trucking. You know nothing about trucking." Nah, that's not it, man. You learn on the job, Holmes. You learn on the job, just the way you did. And things are definitely different today. It's definitely different today. I learned how to drive with my uncle. You can't do that today. I mean, you can, but you're still gonna have to go to a school. You're still gonna have to go through some sort of a trucking program to get your class A. At the time that I did it, I didn't have you didn't have to. I learned how to drive with my uncle. He taught me the ropes. All right, cool, Holmes. Go take all the written tests, passed them, took the behind the wheel test, passed it all in the first try, everything. But you can't do that today. You have to go to school. You have to go to some of these programs. But nonetheless, I don't like veteran drivers or just drivers that get all big headed homes and just want to talk down on other drivers and making them seem like they're dumb and stupid and stuff, saying like, look, man, let me go ahead and help you out. Trying to make it harder for the driver, man. Isn't life already Isn't the trucking industry already making it hard enough for us drivers that we need to start making it harder for ourselves as well? Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that, man. As always, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of your surroundings and always keep a safe distance. Blood, make sure you live below ultimate family. Till next time, this is Thecholotrucker. Over and out.